It's time now for The Splash on Civic Center TV. On this week's episode, we take a look inside the greenhouse at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. Then, Bob Houchins of the West Bloomfield Police Department tells us how to avoid distractions while driving. And later, George Moore brings us more from the greater West Bloomfield area. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything, from local news to feature stories, also that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash. Hello everyone, and welcome to The Splash. I'm your host, Jonathan Jackson. Hope you all had a warm and wonderful weekend. I know I did. Our first story actually comes to us from the greenhouse within Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. Built back in 2012, the greenhouse has become a staple within the community, from its tours offered every Tuesday to its food, which is used by the demonstration kitchen. We sent our very own Cecilia Gallio to talk with resident farmer Trevor Johnson, who's been maintaining the greenhouse these past few years.
Hi, I'm Cecilia Gallio with The Splash. I'm here at the Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital to check out their organic greenhouse program. The 1,500 square foot greenhouse and education center helps bring healthy food and education to hospital patients and the community.
The greenhouse at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital was a product of a $1 million anonymous donation, and what we do in the greenhouse is grow produce for the health system. The produce goes right into the kitchen, and they make it into patient meals, guest meals that are served at Henry's, and we also do programming for kids, adults, and youth.
The greenhouse program provides education for kids to learn how to cook and eat healthy.
Kids come in and they taste healthy snacks, learn how to make them themselves, and they learn how to read nutrition labels and otherwise get educated about how to be smart eaters in this world. And then they come out to the greenhouse and they experience food one-on-one with the plants. They taste some herbs, they do a ladybug release, and they do a seed planting activity. Those engage the kids in the world of nature around them that will then engage them with their health and well-being in their future life.
Working as a resident farmer for 2 years, Johnson has a passion for instilling healthy eating habits in kids.
What really touches me the most here at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital is being able to interact with kids at a very young age so they can get the tools that they need to take care of themselves before they get exposed to some of the craziness that's out there in our food world.
The greenhouse's fresh food and educational programming is really a great resource for improving the wellness of hospital patients and giving the community tools to lead a healthier life through their food. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Cecilia Gallio.
Thanks, Cecilia, and thanks also to Trevor for all his hard work on teaching West Bloomfield's youth on healthy eating habits through gardening. Getting the proper nutrients at that age is crucial to a healthy lifestyle for both young and old. And if you'd like to see more of Henry Ford's West Bloomfield's greenhouse, then visit civiccentertv.com/HFWB greenhouse. The police here in West Bloomfield do their best to keep us all safe, but there's a rather pertinent threat that's been rising within the community, especially on the roads. The Splash's Brooke Allen filed this report.
April has been designated as Distracted Driving Awareness Month. So unless you want to see one of these, keep your hands on the wheel.
In 2015, there were 982 car-related fatalities in the state of Michigan alone. That number, although staggering, might just be overtaken in 2016, as Officer Robert Houchins of the West Bloomfield Police Department explains.
As of April 5th, 2016, there have already been 205 deaths on the roadways in the state of Michigan. Annually, there's about 35,000 deaths on the United States on roadways. And last year, that number was up to about 38,000.
According to Officer Houchins, distraction can take place in many forms and isn't just limited to cell phone usage.
Everybody has the ability to prevent distracted driving. You just need to put your hands back on the steering wheel, leave the phone in your pocket or somewhere where you can't get to it, where you're not going to have the temptation to grab it, and keep focused on what you're doing, because distraction goes beyond taking your hands off the wheel and your eyes off the road. If your mind's not on operating the vehicle, you're distracted.
He also says that distracted driving plays a large part in most fatal crashes and specifically affects one age group in particular.
Fatal accidents are the #1 cause of death for teenagers in the United States. They're particularly vulnerable to distracted driving because sometimes their dependency upon social media and cell phones, they're new drivers, and they don't pay attention to what they're doing when they're driving. But the problem isn't just with teenagers. In my experience as a police officer, I've seen more adults, moms and dads with the cell phone in the hand than kids that I run into.
The best thing, in his opinion, is to lead by example.
It's just like anything else. Our young people are very tech savvy, but it's learned behavior, and we can start with mom and dad and everybody else by setting a good example for our young drivers.
Officer Houchins says in West Bloomfield alone, so far this year, there have been 433 crashes. So distracted driving definitely comes into play. So in April or any other time of the year, be careful out there on the roads. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Brooke Allen. Be safe.
Thanks, Brooke, and thanks also to Officer Houchins for keeping us up to date on the dangers of distracted driving. As he mentioned earlier, it doesn't mean just looking down at your cell phone. Anytime we're not focused on the road is a hazard not only to our health, but to others as well. If you'd like to dedicate yourself, though, to applying this in your everyday life, then try visiting nsc.org/ddmonth. This website is run by the National Safety Council and encourages those who are interested to take a pledge and avoid distracting yourself while driving. And if you'd like to see more on this segment, then visit civiccentertv.com/WBPD Distracted Driving. Coming up, George Moore is back out in the greater West Bloomfield community with another edition of Sidewalk Talk. And later, I'll interview Suzanne Levine from the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce right after this.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Civic Center TV celebrates our region's natural beauty, proud history, tremendous accomplishments, and more with Another Angle, a series featuring a unique bird's-eye view of our area's landscape. Watch Another Angle on Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
The best way to know when shows debut on Civic Center TV is to become a member. It's absolutely free. We'll send you a regular newsletter with all the latest updates. Just go to civiccentertv.com and click the Members tab. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash, everyone. I'm your host, Jonathan Jackson. Well, it's time now for another edition of Sidewalk Talk, where our very own George Moore talks with people in the greater West Bloomfield area. Today's topic is on excuses to get out of work. We've all had one, but let's see what the folks in our area had to say about it.
Hi, George Moore for The Splash. On this segment of Sidewalk Talk, we've got the questions, you got the answers. Let's get to it. What was the most unusual story you ever told to get out of work?
I did that once for the opening ball game for the Tigers, and I said that my aunt was sick.
I'm sure I made up something good, like someone very close got in a bad accident, and I had to get to the hospital.
My favorite getting out of work story was when I was in New Jersey. My wife and I and another couple, all four of us called in sick one day, and we went to Great Adventure Park. So that was kind of cool, just for all four of us to call in sick and take the day off and do that. But I usually pretty straightforward. I never, I don't call in dead.
I once said at another job from a long time ago that I'm no longer at, that I had severe food poisoning, but I really had a very bad hangover.
Well, the standard, I'm sick, and went and played golf instead.
Obviously it worked.
It did work, and I played well that day.
I was going to ask you that.
I never used an excuse to get out of work.
I
loved my job. I was an engineer at Chrysler for 36 years, and I enjoyed every day I went to work.
I told them that I had to go to have a vasectomy. And
Did it work?
The vasectomy?
Residents of Greater West Bloomfield area, we asked the questions, you gave us the answers. And that's what we wanted out here in the streets of the Greater West Bloomfield area. For The Splash, I'm George Moore. Sidewalk Talk.
The answers we get from people here, they never cease to amaze me. But that was only a glimpse of what happens to George out in the community, and you can catch more of his questions and some of those hilarious responses at civiccentertv.com/sidewalk talk. Well, time now for a Civic Center event update. You can find out more on all the following events by visiting civiccentertv.com/events. It's a great tool to keep you up to date on everything going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. So let's dive right in. Whether young or old, keeping one's balance is essential within life. And for our seniors, the fear of falling can be even more intimidating. That's why Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital is offering a program to help reduce those fears and increase activity levels among older adults. These workshops are interactive, group-based, and skill-building. They teach seniors through an 8-session course offered by the Area Agency on Aging 1-B. To register, call the agency at 1-800-852-7795. It's $15 per class, or you can complete the entire course, and the classes are free. Classes are on consecutive Wednesdays, but no newcomers will be accepted after the second one, so be sure to get there on time. Temple Israel and Forgotten Harvest invite you and others to gather bags of food to bring to an individual or families who may be in need. Remember, this isn't a drop-off or donation, but a private and discreet food pickup. The event takes place at Temple Israel on the first and third Tuesday of every month and runs from 3 to 5 p.m. Make sure to stop by for however long you can and help support those in need. Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital offers free tours of their greenhouse every Tuesday with resident farmer Trevor Johnson, whom you saw earlier. Leading the tour throughout it, he'll teach you all about the hydroponic growing techniques they use there, basic plant care, crop harvesting, and much, much more. There are 2 tours available at 11 a.m. or noon, and the tour will last about 45 minutes. Remember, tours are limited to 15 people a session, and registration is required 48 hours prior to the tour. But if you like what you saw earlier, then the event is one you won't want to miss. The West Bloomfield Library is starting a coding club for teens. Any teenagers within the greater West Bloomfield area are invited, and a local student will facilitate the meetings. While their students are taught lessons in QBasic and JavaScript, all skill levels are welcome and no coding expertise is required. This program is meant to give teens a competitive advantage as they apply for college admissions and also internships. Learning to code enhances critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity, and the coding club meets in the main library computer room, and no registration is required. The program begins on Thursday, April 21st from 4:30 to 6. The Nature Room at the Recreation Activity Center is hosting an Earth Day celebration on April 22nd. Why not come out and celebrate Earth Day with other families in the area and enjoy Mother Nature's beauty? Together you can explore the Nature Room and outdoor play area at the Recreation Activity Center. Free activities include a make-your-own trail mix station, recycled crafts, and free tree seedlings to the first 50 kids. No registration is required, and the event runs from 3 till 6. Attention all button collectors. Michigan's Button Society collector and historian Chris Parham visits the West Bloomfield Public Library to share her collection and extensive knowledge with the public. This is mostly a Q&A session, so bring your family's buttons for identification and care suggestions. The event starts at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, April 27th, and of course is free to the public. West Bloomfield High School presents The Addams Family, a Broadway musical, on April 28th through the 30th, with the first and second showing on April 28th and 29th at 7:30, and the third and fourth showing on the 30th at 2 and 7:30. Come to the auditorium and enjoy a wonderful play put on by West Bloomfield students, featuring TV's Spookiest Family, as the Addams family hosts a dinner party for Wednesday's normal boyfriend and her parents. Oh boy. For additional information on the play or to reserve tickets, call 248-865-6720. Do you enjoy games like bridge or euchre? How about checkers or chess? Well, you can play all those games and more at the West Bloomfield Parks and Rec Open Game Room. Bring some fellow players with you and relax in a friendly environment for those 50 and up. Although games will be offered to the public, they do ask that you bring your own supplies. Donations are requested for any refreshments, and registration is not required. But participants must sign in, so remember to do so. The event is on for those 50 and older, like I said earlier, and it starts on May 3rd, then takes place every Monday and Tuesday from then on from 11 a.m. to 4. On Friday, May 6th, West Bloomfield Parks and Rec is hosting their Touch a Truck event from 6 to 9 p.m. at Drake Sports Park. Come and put your imagination in gear and get a first-hand look at police, fire, and construction vehicles most of us see every day but really don't get a chance to interact with. Also, there will be food trucks scattered throughout the area as well for any hungry attendees. The cost is only $5 and no registration is required. Plus, all proceeds will fund the Camp Financial Aid Program, so bring as many folks with you can. The West Bloomfield Library is pleased to announce the continuation of their popular film series discussion group, facilitated by Dr. Tara Hayes from Oakland University. The next classic film they'll be revisiting is Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, a tale about a bitter aging couple who, with the help of alcohol, not a good idea, use a younger couple to cause anguish and emotional pain towards each other. Although the movie will not be shown during the discussion, it will be available to check out prior to the event on May 9th at 7 p.m. That's a glimpse of what's happening around town, though, and if you want to find out more of what's going on in your neighborhood, then be sure to follow us at civiccentertv.com/events and look up our events calendar. Or you can stay tuned right here for up-to-date information on everything going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. Well, we're going to take a quick break for now, but when we come back, I'll be joined here in the studio by Suzanne Levine from the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. Stay tuned.
You are watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Be sure to catch live coverage of Laker sports, up-to-date information on local events, and of course, non-stop music on 89.3 WBLD, the all-new Lakes FM.
I'm Stacy Pacini, caseworker for West Bloomfield Youth Assistance. West Bloomfield Youth Assistance provides confidential casework services to children and families living in the West Bloomfield School District. If your family or child is struggling, West Bloomfield Youth Assistance can help. For more information about West Bloomfield Youth Assistance programs and services, please visit www.wbyouthassistance.org or call 248-592-1278.
For years, Civic Center TV has been bringing you live coverage of local municipal meetings. The meetings are now available on demand at civiccentertv.com/meetings or watch the meetings again the following day on Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash, everyone. I'm your host, Jonathan Jackson. My guest on the show this week is the Executive Director of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, Suzanne Levine. Suzanne, how are you today?
I'm great. It's a beautiful day in your neighborhood.
It is a beautiful day. It's so nice and warm out. I'm glad you came, too.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem, no problem. So, Suzanne, you have been a staple in the community for many years now, I believe 30. And can you tell us a little bit about what you love best about West Bloomfield?
I think West Bloomfield is a fabulous place to raise a family. The neighborhoods are wonderful, and then you've got restaurants and businesses, so there's a lot of convenience. It's just a great place to work, play, and live.
It really is. It's so nice here. People are very nice, and it's very diverse in its community.
Absolutely.
And, you know, you have kids who went to the schools here, and now they're on to do more things, but it's great, you know, to see people grow and build here. So.
Absolutely. We have the most incredible public library, West Bloomfield Public Library, our parks, the lakes. Really, there's just so much that West Bloomfield has to offer.
And also, as on the Chamber of Commerce, you work a lot with the businesses, of course.
Right.
So can you tell us a bit about the local startups and the businesses like that you're helping not only grow, but also to get the word out there for?
Absolutely. I think one of the great things that people don't realize about the Chamber of Commerce is that we are supposed to be the voice of business. So my role is to be a business matchmaker and get these businesses not only to connect with one another, but to connect with the community.
Yeah, I like that. Business matchmaker. That's a good term.
Right. And I will nag our chamber members to come to events and to actually follow some of the leads that I give them, because I will make the warm introduction. If they say, for example, the Young Pizza gentleman wanted to, get out into the community more, I introduced him to all of the local real estate agents and said, why don't you let them know when you sell a house and he can deliver a free pizza, welcome to the neighborhood.
All right.
What a great way to welcome someone and also introduce them to your business.
And give them some great pizza.
Right, and give them some great pizza. Who doesn't love pizza?
Of course, right? Yeah.
Right.
And I like, too, the fact that, these local businesses and startups that you're there for, you're helping support them and build them and grow. What would you say is the best part about seeing these businesses, grow and being a part of that, Is that just great? Is that the best part of the day job, or is that?
I would say that's probably one of the better parts of my job, is knowing that somehow I played some role or was instrumental in keeping them open another day.
Yeah.
I can't cure cancer, and there are other things that I wish I could do, but to know that because of some connections I help them make made, or we had an event there and brought business into their store or their restaurant or their whatever, maybe they're an insurance company and maybe they were able to introduce someone to something, that's a fabulous feeling because they pay taxes in this community and I'm helping them feed their families. So yes, I would say that's probably one of the best parts of my job.
And you also reward some of these folks who do a successful job in your awards ceremony coming up on May 10th. And can you talk to us a bit about that? What do you do there and how do you help grow that event?
This is a fabulous event. We have it's our 10th annual year. It's our Key to the Township Awards ceremony. And every January, we send out an e-blast to the community to please nominate deserving individuals in 5 different categories. And this year, I'm proud to say that Basil Bacall is Business Person of the Year. He owns the Hampton Inn, and he also donates a lot of money to helping Iraqi refugees. Our leadership is our own very fabulous Pat Watson, the principal of West Bloomfield High School, who is definitely connected with students and teachers and the community to make West Bloomfield and give it the kind of recognition it deserves. Young Entrepreneur of the Year this year is Samantha Silber. And, I'm sorry, I mixed up her name.
Oh, no, it's fine. Yeah.
It's Samantha Friedman.
Okay.
And she owns Cycle and Row. The health and wellness recipient this year is Dr. Mona Hanna-Atisha, the pediatrician that found the lead in the Flint water.
Okay.
And
very big issue.
Very big issue. And last but not least, as far as the ones that the community have nominated, is Michelle Silber, and she's the event lead for the Relay for Life. It's that 3-day cancer awareness walk.
Very important. And also a big event. Yeah.
Big event. And then I get to choose. I create an award for Chamber Member of the Year, and this is a Chamber member that has gone out of their way to help support the Chamber and also me in my efforts to connect people. And this year it's Amy Strauss with Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, who has been a phenomenal partner and supporter of the Chamber.
That's so great to hear, Suzanne. And also, too, you get some local celebrities in the area, or local news talent as well. Who's coming to this event, by the way?
Well, it's Charlie Langton, who was Fox 2 news analyst and definitely a news personality.
Very much.
So he should add a lot of dynamism to this already great event. There are tickets available. I hope people will still come and support these great recipients who've made a positive impact in our community. You can go to westbloomfieldchamber.com to find out about this and other fabulous events. Civic Center TV always carries it for us. They always are the ones that are such a great support of our chamber also. So I have to give a shout out to the fabulous staff here, Dave Scott and Danny Mann and Katie. Do a great job of covering our events. May 18th, we have our health fair that you also cover.
That's right.
At the township, which is open to the public. So we have a lot of great events that feature our local businesses that we want to help, promote them and support our community, because obviously this is what makes our community great. Especially I know that Civic Center TV does a lot of our segments called The Biz, where you go into local businesses
and talk with them
and see what their business is all about.
Local entrepreneurs and young startup. Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
So and that's great too. We enjoy doing that as well. So. Thank you, Suzanne, again though for coming here.
Thank you
we really
so
enjoyed
much.
This. Yes,
I'm happy to come here anytime and talk about our great chamber and our businesses.
Right. Yes, and once again, Suzanne Levine from the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, Executive Director. Be sure to stay tuned for the awards ceremony coming up on May 10th, as well as other events in the near future.
Great, thank you so much.
Thanks again. All right, now, well, it's time for a segment we like to call The Biz, which we mentioned earlier. And like I said, we talk with local entrepreneurs in the greater West Bloomfield area with Suzanne's help, and they share with us their unique insight and knowledge on businesses in the area. This week's Biz is on Sundance Shoes in West Bloomfield.
Hi, I'm Katie Wozniak for Civic Center TV, and in this edition of The Biz, we're here at Sundance Shoes in West Bloomfield to talk about every woman's favorite accessory, shoes, and just why they're so popular.
Everybody can wear them. Your foot is the size that it is, and it's easy to wear shoes, and shoes make an outfit. It's easy to try on shoes. You don't have to go into dressing rooms. It's just like right there.
Being versatile is an important factor when picking out shoes, and being able to take a look from day to night can make all the difference.
Well, it depends what you wear. So daytime, let's say you're at work and you're wearing that little stacked pump I was talking about. Something like that you could wear with a suit and tights or you could wear it with a pantsuit. And then at night, you could put it on with a great pair of skinny jeans and a t-shirt and a black leather jacket, and you're ready to go to wear the same shoe both day and night.
It is important to try on the shoe when purchasing to make sure you have the proper fit.
Fit of a shoe varies among brands. So what we do to do a proper fit, because we have experienced salespeople here, that we know if a shoe runs big or a shoe runs small. So when they say the size that they wear, we might bring a size, that size, a size up higher or a size lower, because we know that certain brands, these European companies, make shoes that on their size scale.
As we enter spring and with the weather changing, Katie told us about what styles to look out for this year.
Right now, for spring, for heels, they're showing a lot of, they're called like little shooties. So it's like a little open toe with an open back. And that you can wear with a dress, with jeans, with leggings. Sneakers are huge. Sneakers are actually great for this time of year because we're done with our boots and we might not be ready for sandals yet. So a sneaker you can put on with your yoga pants, with a cropped jean, even a pair of shorts when you're not ready to put on a sandal yet.
And picking the right shoe for you is all about your personal style.
I think it depends what you wear and how you like to wear an outfit. There really isn't do's or don'ts. I mean, right now in our store, we have stiletto heels, we have chunky heels, we have cowboy boots, we have flat boots, we have perforated boots. It's really whatever your style is, we can find a pair of shoes to rock your style and make you feel comfortable. So there's really not a do or a don't. It just depends how you dress and how conservative or funky you want to be.
Shoes are the perfect accessory because they can change the look of any outfit. For Civic Center TV, I'm Katie Wozniak, and that's your biz.
Thanks, Katie. And if you'd like to know more about Sundance Shoes or other businesses within the greater West Bloomfield community, then visit civiccentertv.com/thebiz. We now turn to our other segment here on The Splash, our Person of the Week. This is where we acknowledge an individual within the community who is simply providing a good service toward others. This week's recipient is Pastor Jack Freed. Jack Freed is not only a staple within the West Bloomfield community, but he's been living here for nearly 5 decades. As a minister, Jack studied for 8 years and majored in philosophy at Augustana College, spending 4 years in seminary. He then became a pastor at churches in Wisconsin and Illinois before establishing a new congregation in West Bloomfield. Jack arrived here with his family in 1969 and began his journey with the help of local community leaders to build the first congregation at Holy Spirit Lutheran Church. Since then, Jack's involvement in the community has spread far beyond his own congregation. He's an original member of the Greater West Bloomfield Michigan Week Planning Committee, a co-founder of the West Bloomfield Optimist Club, former chaplain for both West Bloomfield's police and fire department, and continues to be seen as a figure of great wisdom and guidance within the township, which obviously makes him our Person of the Week. If you or someone you know is providing a good service to their community, then let us know by sending an email to The Splash at civiccentertv.com. We want to congratulate those who are making a difference in our area, and we appreciate any and all suggestions. Well, once again, that's all the time we have for today, but make sure to catch us every Monday for new episodes of The Splash, and throughout the week for replays. You can also look up previous episodes online at civiccentertv.com, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook under Civic Center TV for more information. For all our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Kego Harbor, and of course, West Bloomfield, I'm Jonathan Jackson, and we'll see you next time.